If I were to ask you a question, who are you? I mean, not who are you, but who are you? Asking you to describe yourself. Now, will your description of yourself be in sync with your actions? Will your actions match how you describe yourself? For instance, if you asked me to describe Blessing in Tamil, and I went ahead to tell you Blessing in Tamil is kind, Blessing in Tamil is conscientious, Blessing in Tamil is diligent, and stuff like that. Will my actions actually match this description? Is it an objective description? Is that who I really am? Now, self-awareness entails having a clear, objective, and realistic sense of who you are. Okay? It entails knowing your values, your goals, your motives, knowing your influences, knowing your strengths, and also being very aware of your weaknesses. Now that's where the trouble lies, because a lot of people are comfortable talking about their strengths, but not their weaknesses. Some people don't even admit that they have weaknesses, but a self-aware person knows everything about who she or he is, and there is a congruence between the person's internal ideal self, and who the person really is. Now, according to Duval and Wiklund, 1972, who propounded the self-awareness theory, described self-awareness as the ability to focus on your actions, on your thoughts, on your emotions, and how they align with your internal standards. Again, are you able to let the spotlight fall on you and you're comfortable? Are you able to be able to focus, comfortable? So can you focus on yourself, on who you are? Do you have an adequate, an ideal, a realistic view of who you really are? If you do, then you're a self-aware person. Now, self-awareness correlates with emotional intelligence positively. There are two types of self-awareness. One is the internal self-awareness, and this refers to how clearly you view yourself, your values, your goals, your motives, your influences, and your understanding of how these personal factors affect your interaction with your environment. And then we have the external self-awareness. This refers to your knowledge of how other people view you in terms of your values, goals, motives, influences, strengths, and weaknesses. Now, based on these two types of self-awareness, we're going to describe 4 self-awareness archetypes. Okay? So the first one, the introspectors. Now, the introspectors are high on internal self-awareness. That is to say, they have a clear sense of self, who they are, their values, their goals, their motives, their influences, strengths, and weaknesses. But then they do not subject their views to being challenged. So they do not subject their views to being challenged, they do not seek feedback, and they do not take feedback kindly, negative feedback particularly. And this may create a problem in their relationships and in their work and effectiveness, because feedback, whether positive or negative, is always useful. So the introspectors are high on internal self-awareness, but low on external self-awareness. And then we have the aware. Now, this group of people are actually self-aware. So they're aware of who they are. They have a clear sense of self, an objective and realistic sense of self. And they also have a clear sense of external perception of who they are, how people perceive them to be. Okay, these people are open to feedback, they are open to having their views being challenged, and so they are in a continuous place of growth. And this is actually the place to be. And then we have the seekers. Now, these people do not yet understand who they are. So they are low on both internal and external self-awareness. They do not know who they are. They don't have a clear sense of their goals. They do not know where they're going. They do not know how other people perceive them. Those are the seekers. Okay, and then we have the pleasers. The pleasers have a high external awareness of self, but a low internal awareness of self. So they're so focused on pleasing other people, getting affirmation and validation from other people, that they might take actions that are contrary to their goals, that are counterproductive to self, just because they want to please other people. Okay, so these people have a high sense of external awareness, but a low sense of internal awareness, internal self-awareness. So we have 4 archetypes. We have the introspectors, high internal self-awareness and low external self-awareness. We have the aware, that's the self-aware, and those have a high internal sense of self-awareness and also a high external self-awareness. Okay, so they know who they are, they know who people think they are, and are able to manage these to get the most productive relationships. And then we also have the seekers, who are yet to find themselves. They're still seeking to understand who they are and how they're being perceived. And then we have the pleasers, who have a high external self-awareness but a low internal self-awareness. It is important to know where you fall on the self-awareness spectrum, and then to work towards being a self-aware person, because there are so many benefits, when you're a self-aware person. So in the next video, we'll talk about how you can increase your self-awareness and the benefits of being self-aware.